Foreclosure, ticking time bombs you didn't know are there, and they are coming whether you like it or not. So let's get into it here really quickly about the pre-foreclosure time bombs that you're going to be witnessing when you're going to get that first letter from the bank stating that you're in pre-foreclosure. So the auction is actually closer than you think. The banks often move pretty quickly when they hire the legal attorneys, the foreclosure attorneys to represent them. They, depending on which state that you're in, it moves pretty quickly when they file that list pendants first. They depending on what kind of state you're in, whether it's a judicial or non-judicial state, will determine how fast the auction comes. So be very careful. Make sure that you always are stay on top of things. Make sure you find out who your foreclosure attorney is, and make sure you give them a call to see when is the auction date scheduled for, because you definitely don't want to wait to the last minute to go ahead and get that auction stopped or postponed. And it is very scary when that last minute comes because you really do run out of options. The other ticking time bomb that I do want to talk about is your back due amount is continues to grow. There's legal fees that get tacked onto it, and so every single month that you delay this foreclosure, that's happening already, your amount grows. So if you're planning on reinstating the loan and bringing the loan current, it's going to be very difficult for you to do that because you might think that the payoff is, let's say, $10,000, but because of all the legal fees that were tacked onto it, the additional interest and everything else, now you're at $20,000. So maybe you had enough time to borrow money from family, friends, maybe the banks or whoever gave you any sort of funds, and now you receive the payoff and it's $10,000 more than you expected, and you're just at that point, you're really running out of options. And lastly, when you're kind of just being an ostrich and putting your head in the sand, um, you know, as people say it, you're limiting your options with the lenders as well. And so when I say you're limiting your options, I mean by possibly a loan modification. So if you have a loan and you're currently working and you have income and maybe you just fell behind because of unfortunate circumstances, you're limiting yourself to options with the lender. So the more you become an ostrich and put your head in the sand, the less options you're going to have, and the less the bank is going to be willing to work with you, because people that wait till the last minute usually don't have the additional options that somebody that would, if they reached out to the lender right away and say, hey, I'm in this situation, what kind of options do I have? And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll transfer you to loss mitigation, which is the foreclosure department, and they'll assign somebody to your case, and you can go over the options with them. A lot of times it's just a simple loan modification. So maybe you fell behind, you lost your job, maybe something happened in the family, whatever the circumstance was, that it's definitely a hardship. And so you should take full advantage of that loan modification option that the lender does have. But the problem is that if you wait till the last minute, those options go away. Typically, with our experience, what we see is that your options are limited, and the lender typically will not allow you to do a loan modification 37 days before the actual auction date. So that's typically what we see. So you definitely want to start thinking about it. If you're already in foreclosure, you get that first letter, call the lender, say, hey, well, what kind of options do I have? Maybe it's just a small reinstatement amount that you can cover yourself, or you can get a loan from family or friends, or maybe it's just as simple as applying for a loan modification and then going through the process. So if you're in foreclosure, if you have somebody that's in foreclosure and you guys need help, please reach out to us and our team. We'd be more than happy to help you out. We've stopped many foreclosures. We've stopped auctions a days before, nationwide, by the way. So it's not just here. I'm in the Chicago suburbs right now. If you're watching this today, it's a gloomy day, but it's okay. It's a beautiful day for me. We're doing a lot of great things. So regardless of the weather, we're still pushing, moving forward. We're not going to let the gloomy day bring us down, right? And so we have another. What I want to talk about is, as we just discussed, the pre-foreclosure ticking time bombs. I want to talk about somebody that we're currently helping. So there was a woman that we reached out to that had an auction coming up very near actually. She at the time when we called her, she was out of the country. And so she was getting a lot of phone calls from a lot of different people, but nobody really presented her the option that she wanted. She fell behind on some payments. She was going through some hardships with her spouse and everything else, and she fell behind on payments. And she unfortunately was waiting to the last minute as well. But she is working. She has a full time job. She also has people that live with her that help pay with the bills, and so she just needed a fresh start. She also has, you know, I believe 3 or 4 children, and so she really wants to stay in this property. And so we're gonna try to help her stay in this property. And what we're doing is we have come up with a solution. So we are going to allow her, we're going to purchase her property. And by purchasing her property, we're going to then rent the property back to her so she can stay there. Her payment's going to be roughly maybe a little bit higher than it was before, of course, because of the current interest rate environment. But at least she can stay in the property for as long as she likes. And we're going to keep the rents we're going to keep the rents the same. We're not planning on raising any rents. And so what we're going to do is we're going to purchase the property using a hard money loan. And then what we're going to do is right after we purchase the property, we're going to refinance it into a DSCR loan, which is a debt service coverage ratio loan. And we're going to pay off the hard money lender after we do some repairs. And then we're going to sign a lease agreement with her so she can stay in the property and just continue making payments to us now versus her lender. And we ended up, this is something that I don't advise people to do. You have to be a little bit more experienced, have a little bit more liquidity in case something does go wrong. You want to make sure that you have the right attorney. The saying, all good deeds go unpunished, right? Is very true. And so, when you're doing these types of transactions and deals with people that are in foreclosure, you want to make sure that you have everything written down, everything documented, everything on Zoom, exactly what you're doing, how you're helping this person, that this person understands that they're no longer the owner of the property and that they're going to be now a tenant, and just make sure everything's documented fully, especially in judicial states, because judicial states versus non-judicial, there is a huge difference between the two. And so, but I would say, regardless whether it's judicial or non-judicial, document everything fully as well, because even though you're trying to help someone get out of a very difficult situation and put them in a better situation, it is sometimes it can backfire on you. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and your team, and of course, make sure you're doing right by the owner as well. In this case, she's also going to get some money up front. We're going to pay off all her arrears. We've stopped her auction. We gave her breathing room. They were literally going to get, the house was going to go to auction just a couple of days before we intervened. So she's very excited. She's happy that she gets to stay. Her kids get to go to the same school, which to me, at this point, it is worth more than purchasing that property and doing a flip and making money on it. Now we're able to do something for someone else, not just for our own benefit here, right? We're able to help a family out in need. Now, this isn't going to work for everybody, unfortunately, because a lot of people that are in foreclosure, they don't have stable income, or they don't have others that are assisting them with income. They don't have roommates, or they don't have people living in the property and helping out with the bills. In this case, she does. So she checks all the boxes for us. And so this is the very first time we're doing this, and I'll let you guys know how it all goes. But we're going to document everything and make sure everything is fully documented in the process, just to make sure that we're protected, and our company and our team is protected as well. But I'm happy. I'm really happy that we're able to help these kids, because I went to this house and started walking around, and just kind of looking at it from like an investor's perspective. But then I look at these children, and I'm a dad, I'm gonna kind of get emotional here, and and I see it, and I see these kids, and then they're so happy, and they're running around this house, and this is a big house, it's like a 5 bedroom property, and and they're laughing, and they're talking to me, and they're this one boy comes and hugs me, and they have no clue what's going on, and they have zero clue what's going on. And as a father, it really, really breaks my heart because those are 4 children that were just gonna, be end up who knows where, I mean, it's a very, very sad situation, and so immediately my investor hat turned into a dad's hat, right? I had my dad hat on. I'm like, "You know what?" I was talking to my partner, which it was his idea first. I was like, I think your idea is a great idea. We just gotta make sure that it's all done properly. It's all done properly, and it's all done through the attorneys and everything else. Everybody understands that we're gonna buy this property, and we're gonna be the owners now, but we will let you stay here with your children and rent from us and just be happy and everything else. And so, um, we're gonna choose humans over profit, right? Humans over profit, is what we're doing here. So I'm happy that we're in a situation where we're able to do that financially for somebody. Um, and it's just, it's the right thing to do in this situation. I wholeheartedly believe that it's the right thing to do. And so, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for additional flips, or, somebody that's just, not able to pay the bills and actually needs to sell, and it needs to sell to somebody like us. And then there's real life people that are going through these hard times and situations that sometimes you just have to put everything aside, put on your humanity hat, and just help someone in need. And that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, yeah, kind of got a little bit emotional there, but so, every foreclosure is a different story. Every foreclosure is a different book, and it ends differently. And so, some some end in happiness, some don't. Some people just have to let go and move on. Which is typically most people, and others might have a second chance, just depending on their situation. But if you're in pre-foreclosure, you have somebody in pre-foreclosure, guys, it's really a ticking time bomb. I mean, I just recently had somebody that we were going to help, and we were going to help him, and he let his house go. We had a beautiful home in Elizabeth, Colorado. Beautiful home, with it had horse barns. It was very equestrian, and it was a nice tons of land. And this guy just ghosted us and just let his house go to auction. That's it. Just let it go. And he probably thought he can do something. We actually ended up paying for the auction. So we paid to stop the auction. We were going to actually go together and help sell his home, fix it up a little bit, find the realtor, pay for everything, make sure we get a good buyer for him, and even postpone the auction again if we had to do that. But he just, head in the sand, he pulled an ostrich on us and lost his property. So fortunate, but people do that. That's just those. That's just how we are. That's how we're programmed, right? A lot of us just wait to the last minute. We believe it's not happening. I will tell you this: it is happening, and it is happening faster than you think. All your little tricks that you foreclosure specialists think you know how to do. I'm talking to the homeowners right now that I know how to play the system. I'll catch up to you one way or the other. If you're in a judicial state, I'll catch up to you much quicker than if you're in a non-judicial state, but I'll still catch up to you. So be decisive. Make sure you know what you're looking to do. Make sure you don't walk away empty-handed, because why would you allow the bank to take all that equity from you if you have a lot of equity, versus you being in control of your biggest asset, right? because most Americans' biggest asset is their home. So if you're not in control of your biggest asset, what are you in control of? So I want you guys to think about that for a second. What are you in control of? So put your ego aside. Let someone like myself or someone that reaches out to you with good intentions help you, because who else is going to help you? If you're down to the last wire, the bank is not going to talk to you. There's nothing they can do. You can scream, you can shout, you can yell, you can threaten. They'll win. They will win. Remember back in 2008? They're too big to fail. Remember that. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining my Zoom. Um, Somebody asked the question right now: how do I pull pre-foreclosure in Will and DeKalb County? Um, what's Shantanya? I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong there. You can just go to auction.com. You don't need to pull anything. You don't have to pay for anything. Go to auction.com, type in DeKalb County, type in Will County, and all the auctions will come up. You want to go after auctions, because auctions, there's a ticking time bomb. If you're going after pre-foreclosures, they still have a lot of time. You could go after pre-foreclosure, but if you want to help somebody really fast or get a deal, you can go after auctions, which is an auction.com, which is what we do. We don't pull any specialists or anything like that. We just use auction.com. It's free. I hope that answers your question. Real estate guys, usalegalnotice.com. Yep, that's a good one too. Auction.com. Great. Thanks to real estate guys for giving her the information. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. And auction.com is exactly what we use. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. They're updated. They're updated all the time. Now there's a really cool website too. That also we use, which is very very up to date, Shantanya, and you can get the websites very very quickly. I'm sorry, you can get the information very quickly, and the website is. Let me see here. It is a paid subscription, but it's very good for Illinois. It is ilfls.com. ilfls.com. They have everything that you need, all the counties throughout the Chicagoland area and DeKalb County, Will County, and all the counties that you're looking for. And you can pull pre-foreclosures, and you can also pull auction lists as well. It's a small subscription. I'm not affiliated with this website, but I do like it. It's very easy to use, and we do use it as well. But most of the people that we help come from auction.com. So I hope that answers your question. Yep. Well, that's it for today, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you were able to take something out of this. What is this podcast or just conversational piece? I don't know. But yeah. So hope you guys have a great day, and take care, and sub two. And my name is Creative Mike. And as always, stay creative, my friends.